Hi, here we go then. This is a bit of an experiment. The Angelo Rayner story has exploded today. And now Starmer must sack her. Do you agree with me? I find it incredible that he defended her in the House of Commons today. She's been done bang to rights. I want your opinion. It's very much a quick reaction show, this. I mean, her defense is, oh, I took advice and it was the wrong advice. Well, I don't really understand why you didn't say that days ago. Why is it taking you this long to sort it out? And you know what really, really winds me up? She's got out the smallest violin going, and she's now portraying herself as a victim. Don't get me wrong. I know she's got a child with special needs or whatever, but that could have been mentioned by one of her friends. She hid instead behind this court order where she said she couldn't talk, but now she can. And I'll tell you something, Starmer, you shouldn't just sack her for this, because effectively she's either thick, well, hang on, stop sniggering at the back, or her only other defence is she's lying and she was fiddling the stamp duty. And it's a substantial amount of money. It's 40 grand. And whilst you're at it, Starmer, add on to the charge sheet that ridiculous pair of sunglasses she was wearing today as she turned up and got out of a taxi. She was like some B-movie actress, wasn't she? Or in some sort of semi-porn show. What was all that about? We know who you are, Angela. We can hardly mistake you. I'm saying quite categorically, she has to go. And while he's at it, if you've read the little intro to this show today, by the way, press the like button if you like what I'm talking about, because I'm talking today about Starmer, Rayner, Rachel Reeves, the Labour Party, the chaos that the United Kingdom and United Kingdom politics is in. It's just got much worse. And I'm doing a main show at 6:30 when I want to talk about all the other stuff, like the ID cards they want to introduce. But let's just focus on Rayner and her misdemeanors. How the hell can she afford an £800,000 flat anyway, even on a ministerial wage? It all just smells a bit iffy to me, which is why the press have kept on it. And thank God the mainstream press, and it is mostly them this time, got to give them credit where credit's due, they've actually done a good job on this. But whilst he's at it, while he's sacking the tax fiddler, because he's going to have to do it in a day or so, or even by the end of today, if he doesn't do it now, why doesn't he sack the other one? He was in Parliament today. On one side, he had the ginger growler, as she's often called. The other side, he had Rachel, well, don't start on me, I'm a woman, crybaby Reeves. One wants to fiddle the tax. The other one wants to tax you to death. Mark my word, there's massive tax rises coming in her budget. She's now declared when the budget's going to be. It's the last possible moment that it can be before Christmas. She will be the Grinch that stole Christmas, because she's going to try and save her own scrawny neck, just like the ginger growler has been doing the past few days, and just like Starmer's has been doing and is doing by not sacking her. If he sacks her, it might show he had strength, but on the other hand, it's weakness, because she's the deputy PM. I told you, if we kept the pressure on, it eventually comes on to Starmer. If you want to comment, by the way, Jake Morton Brown, I'll come to you in a moment, just comment in the comments as per normal. This is a very much a quick reaction show. So even if you just want to say, yes, she must be sacked, no, she mustn't, grow up, Gaunty, she's got a difficult situation, whatever, yeah? I'm saying she has to go. If she had any backbone, but then Labour doesn't have a backbone, does it? They've all got the backbones of amoebas. All they want is power. They didn't even think about what they were going to do when they got in power. The grown-ups are back in the room. What, the grown-ups who fiddle their taxes? The grown-ups who can't add up and did a budget that has completely wrecked the British economy. I'm not saying they got given a great hand, because they didn't. But don't make out all of this is the Tories' fault. I was half expecting in that self-pity, I don't know if you've seen the video yet, the self-pitying video of Angela Rayner, that she was going to say, well, it's the Tories' fault. They left this black hole. Whatever. The usual bull would come out. It hasn't yet. But instead, she's playing the, I've got a son who's got complex conditions. Well, I'm not being uncharitable. There'll be a lot of people watching this now who have got kids or elderly parents. I've got one myself, which is a problem in your life. But it isn't really a problem because love overcomes it and you get on with your life, don't you? Not Angela. She wants to be able to not pay the right stamp duty. From the first moment this story came out, it was obvious there was something iffy. I say she has to go. She won't resign, so Starmer must sack her. But whilst he's sacking her, sack Rachel Reeves. What's your opinion? Let's go to Jake Morton Brown. He says on Facebook, afternoon Gaunty. I think it just shows we have the exact same as we did with the Tories. It's one rule for them and another for the rest of us. I think you're right, Jake. I've always said you couldn't put a poppadom between them, and they're proving it. This is, as I always like calling them, the self-serving pigs at work. They make sure you pay your stamp duty. They'll arrest a comedian as he gets off a plane for hurty words, for 3 flipping tweets. Not only that, they'll send 5 coppers with machine guns fully tooled up to arrest him. Now, Starmer's had to come out and say, oh, I don't agree with this. Hold on a minute, Starmer. You were the one who made that speech after you ran away in Southport, calling everybody far-right thugs. You started the free speech clampdown. You definitely started it. So don't now try hide behind the coppers, blaming everybody else. You're like the little fat boy, me, when I was a kid, chocolate all over your face, and your mum comes into the kitchen just as your hand is coming out of the biscuit tin, the broken biscuits, by the way, and she says, have you been eating those biscuits without asking permission? You go, no, chocolate's all over you. That's Starmer. But today, this is the end now. We're really into the end game because he's got a terrible position, like she has. If she'd just said straight away a few days ago, I think I might have made a mistake, I got the wrong advice, however, it's complicated, tell you what. But no, like all politicians, she hides behind, oh, there's a court case, which I'm sure there was. Now we're hearing a bit more about it. But if you were the deputy leader of the country, wouldn't you check and double check? Because then the only defense she's got at the moment is she's thick. Well, we knew that, Gaunty. Well, I'm not sure if that's true because she's a working class girl who's done well for herself. I don't want to see her fall like this. But she's put herself in this position. Just like Rachel Reeves with the dodgy CV. And then we find out she's using Diane Abbott's abacus to add up. She's completely fucked up the economy. What are we meant to do? How much more of this do we have to take? It's ludicrous. Surely her position is untenable. Sack her now, says Darren on X/Twitter. Well said, mate. Jake's back. He says, I work in care, and I'm sorry, but none of the people I have supported have had who I have supported, who have had family members, fiddled taxes to this extent. Yeah, I mean, you could take a very cynical view. Fancy using your disabled kid to justify your fiddling or your mistake. Mind you, it's a bit like their glorious supreme leader, isn't it? Do you remember when he got caught out about the flat and the, oh, suits you, sir? Oh, it was his son. He threw his 17-year-old son, this is Starmer, under the bus and basically said, oh, he was revising there. Until one of Fleet Street's finest said, what, he was revising in the £18 million penthouse in Covent Garden owned by your friend, Lord Ali, weeks after the O-levels were over. Again, it doesn't add up. The Taylor Swift tickets, the Arsenal tickets. This government is as smeared in the proverbial SH1T as the last lot. And that is why you can't put a poppadom between them. They are all self-serving pigs. And then we have the ultimate humiliation, which they're trying to turn on Farage. Farage has gone to Washington today, to talk to Congress about the restriction on free speech. Did you see? You probably didn't, because you've probably got a proper job and working, not like me. Keir Starmer today said, the member had some sarky comment about Nigel Farage, saying he's not here today, the member for Clacton. He's gone over to America to slag this is me paraphrasing it, slag our country off. He tried to make out what Farage is doing is damaging the country. Well, when a comedian, perhaps the greatest comedy writer we've had since Fawlty Towers, Morecambe and Wise, Eddie Braben, the rest of them, right? The greatest comedy writer who has been completely and utterly censored and completely and utterly thrown out of so-called polite society, and all his left-wing comedy mates have abandoned him because of his views that a man wearing a frock doesn't make him a woman. That's his view, right? And he writes a couple of tweets, goes off to America. This is all going to come back and haunt them, because you know what he's doing in America? He's making a brand new TV show / films with some of the top names in comedy in Hollywood. And it's going to be a mega success. Andrew Doyle's involved as well. So then the government are going to look pathetic. But what happened today was Starmer tried to say he's going there to damage the country. He's going there to try and free the country from you fascist. Because you're the fascist, Starmer, the left-wing fascist. Because you want to stop free speech. You don't want people to be able to say what they really feel. Now, all of this would be fine if the economy was okay. But you've got a woman who lied as the Chancellor. You've got a woman now as the Deputy Prime Minister who's fiddled her taxes. Because it is a fiddle, however much she dresses it up. Mistake my arse. Carl Eves, the fact that she was exploring avenues to avoid paying tax is enough for me. Well said, Carl. Hypocritical cretin. I hate her. Don't hold back. What makes it worse is she's the bloody housing minister as well. Oh, yeah, I'd forgotten about that. She is, yeah. Her position is untenable. I agree with you, Carl. She must go, and she must go today. But do you think Rachel Reeves should as well? Because I do. I mean, I'd like the whole lot to go, apart from the fact we haven't got anyone to take over yet. It's going to be Farage. Maybe we just got to get on with it, bite the bullet, and see what he does. Somebody said to me yesterday, do you actually want Nigel? I said, he's got a lot of faults, but I don't think he can do any worse than this bunch of shysters. Rigby was equally useless in that video. Softball questions for a typical hypocritical champagne socialist, says Pip Tomlinson over in Barcelona. Yes, Pip, you're right. But then I've told you all this before, especially broadcast media, they're all in bed with each other. They don't want anything to disturb their cozy little world. I just hope that Nigel doesn't go that way. That's all I hope. Gavin Cardy, TB liar all over again, i.e. Tony Blair, spin and twist and make the lies the truth. That's exactly what they do. That's exactly what they do. So you don't know whether you're coming or going. 19 likes. That's great, isn't it? Just for very much an impromptu show. By the way, you can still help me. Restream this. Tell other people that I'm on at the moment. Send them a quick tweet. Whatever you want to do. Also, you can help me by donating. Just click the little dollar button underneath this YouTube video. Donate as much or as little as you like. It all helps. Please do that. Alternatively, go to buymeacoffee.com/Jon Gaunt. It's there on the screen at the moment. And if you do that, you'll get your name on the roll of honor. And there's some of the people who have donated so far. Thank you so much. Without you, I can't carry on. It's as simple as that. Without the donations, I can't. I've told you what's happening. Lisa's there with a spreadsheet. Luckily, she's at work at the moment. When she finds out I've done an extra one, the light will be on me. Oh, it'll be on me. I'll be under interrogation. Much more difficult than what's happened to that stupid ginger growler today. The growler is a fraudster. She needs to go. Reeves is clueless, who cares less for the British people. Starmer is a winker. I think you spelt that wrong. We have the worst government in my 59 years on this earth. Mr. Bean could do a much better job. I've got to agree with you, JJ Jones. Although, to be fair, Mr. Bean's busy, hasn't he? He's been doing the Epping case. Did you see him? I couldn't believe it when it came out that the supreme judge, the main judge, was called Mr. Bean. Because I tell you what, Mr. Bean would have done a better job of protecting our children than those bewigged, I know they weren't wearing wigs, bewigged buffoons. What is happening? We are going to hell in a handcart. Craig Mawson, hi, John, I totally agree with you about Angela Rayner. Thank you. Hello, John. Thanks for the rain. Laugh out loud, yeah. Well, look at the boring side of that. The gardens need it. That's what I keep saying to people, because, I'm into gardening now, and I'm into allotments. I might pop down there later, although I'm meant to be doing another show at 6, half 6. I don't know. I really want to do one about what Nigel's up to, but I'm thinking, well, I'll wait for that till tomorrow when we actually know, because he's obviously on Washington time. And the ID cards, I can't believe it. Yesterday, if you didn't watch it, try and catch up with it. It's all on Jon Gaunt TV YouTube. I did one over there about, I did one yesterday about, they're now beginning to listen. They're going to put them in camps. I said at the time, this could be a smokescreen. What it's really about is they want ID cards. They want Tony Blair's idea of ID cards. Well, I'm dead against that. I never used to be. I've changed my opinion. Because you know what? I'm a grown-up and I can. But when you got a lousy government like this, you cannot trust them. Just go back to the hypocrisy of Angela Rayner. There's loads of videos. Go and search them. You'll find them where she's slagging off Tories when they've fiddled their taxes. The bloke in Stratford, can't remember his name. That was him. He slagged him and really went for him. And that's where a lot of that bullshit about you can't be a lawmaker and then be a lawbreaker. I wonder whether Angela's thought about that today. Blimey, there's a nice one for me. Greg Galvin's just whacked in a $5 by pressing the little $sign. Thank you, Greg. That's a great contribution. He says, keep on trucking, John. I shall try, Greg. That's Greg Galvin. Thank you very much indeed for that. Excuse me. Mike Pepper says, corrupt globalist puppets. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, so looking back, does she look at the things she said? Because let's face it, she was the, don't laugh now when I say this next line, she was the attack dog for Starmer, wasn't she? She was the one who was willing to duff people up. But now she can't, because she's a stinking hypocrite. And then she referred herself to the Standards Committee. Nothing will happen there. I'm just looking at my tweets here because I want to. I'm sorry. This is what I wrote earlier. Massive reaction to it. Angela Rayner would show no mercy to a Tory who fiddled her tax, or their tax. So no mercy should be shown to her. Spineless Starmer must sack her now. Followed up by somebody saying, absolutely he should, but he won't, because she is exactly like him, not fit for office. I said Angela Rayner must go. In another tweet, Starmer must locate his spine. Good luck with that one. And sack her today. Whilst he's at it, he should sack Rachel Reeves too. One's fiddled her taxes. The other wants to tax you to death to make up for her mistakes. But no, it's all the Tories. It's all the Tories. The whole thing is a joke. Keeping it real says, yet more dodgy behaviour. Yet the PM has stood up for her. Tax evasion issues aside, it's not evasion, it's avoidance. The question we should be asking is, what does Rayner have on Starmer? Oh, no, please. I can't even get that thought out of my head now. Don't say things like that. Please, please, please. How does any modern MP not think they're going to get caught? Well, that's a good point. Do you know what it is? It's the arrogance. It's the arrogance of power. Power corrupts and absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. It's the Prince Machiavelli, not the Madness song. That's why. That's why it happens. Roy Brownlow says it's kicking off in Spain as well over immigrants. Not just in Spain. Not just in Spain, Ray. Roy, it's in Australia. It's even in places like Japan, Australia, Japan, America. People have had enough. It's not that people are racist. People want to be, if you're English, you want to be an Englishman or woman. If you're Spanish, you want to be a Spaniard. You don't want to be European. You don't want to be a mush unless you're some kind of daft, soppy socialist who's never grown up. The problem is the daft, soppy socialists at the moment are in charge. The other problem, though, is the people who are in charge before them, the Tories, they were corrupt and useless as well. Because all of them, when they go on about the numbers, why didn't you stop it? So maybe our only hope is Nigel. Let's keep everything crossed this afternoon that Trump listens to what he has to say. He's not going to be there, I don't think, Trump, but no doubt he'll see him at some point. It's just a farce. Like I said yesterday or the day before, this is the country that built an empire. This is the country that won 2 world wars. And now we're being threatened by guys in flip-flops, sticking the V's up out of 4-star hotel windows. What an absolute joke of a country we're turning into. And I'm not saying it's just Starmer who's done that. Rishi, and I see Boris was all over GB News. He now wants to come back by the look of it. But don't forget, he did some good things, but he also gave the green light for the so-called Boris wave. He put us in this position as well. The problem has been that the cultural Marxists have taken over everything. I made a very small video about this. It's about 10 minutes. No, sorry, about 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes, or maybe a minute long, short. It's up on YouTube. And I say, like, you know, the cultural Marxists, they control the schools, they control the universities, they control the police, they control social services, they control education, further education, and all the rest of it. They're in charge. No one voted for them. There's never been a manifesto which says, let's have no borders. Well, apart from now that, have you seen the bloke they've elected to be the leader of the Greens? Huh? They won't be getting my vote again. And then the deputy leader, he thinks it's okay to be shouting Ali Akbar. And he basically said the attack on Israel, on those poor, innocent teenagers at their version of Glastonbury, where they were raped, mutilated, babies snatched from their tummies, that was justified. He's the deputy leader of the Green Party. I thought the Green Party was all about growing your own stuff, if you know what I mean. When did it become so radical and stupid and ridiculous? I'm going to stop in a minute. This is only meant to be a short one. If you'd like to contribute, please do. I'd really, really appreciate it. Get yourself on the screen now by just pressing that $sign. Just as much as you can afford. Yeah, just press it. It's just underneath there. See it? And if you're listening on audio, or if you're listening or watching it somewhere else, come back to YouTube. It's Jon Gaunt TV. I've got to say to you, thank you very much indeed. If you want to subscribe, it's free to Jon Gaunt TV on YouTube. The numbers are going through the roof. Thank you very much indeed. Doesn't cost anything to subscribe, but then you know when I'm going to do one because it tells you automatically. You get a little alert, right? And I'm warning you, you're on warning, that this week I'm on my own, down at my daughter's. I haven't even had a chance to put my green screen up. And I'm going to be doing extra ones this week. So if you want to get your money's worth, even if you haven't contributed, feel free. This will be the week. You might even get bored of me. What's the thing I was going to say to you? I wanted to say you can also donate at buymeacoffee.com/Jon Gaunt. Slapping a bird's arse says it's not only Rayner who needs to go, John, mate. Well, yeah, well, that's what I've just said. Definitely Rachel Reeves. If you want to suggest somebody else, let's hear it. Mike Pepper, it's a funny joke, but please don't make it on my stream, because in today's climate, that would get me taken off and you. Yeah, don't do it. Just don't do it, okay? That's your warning. Don't mess me around now and try and do it again, because I'll just ban you. Keep on trucking, John, says James R.C. Irvin. David Mayton, the UK simply cannot last another year with this lot in power. Yeah, one of my very good friends said that to me today on a message. This guy is extremely wealthy. He's made every penny himself. He comes from the rough-arsed end of Coventry, and he was saying exactly the same. This guy is so successful, it's incredible, and he's done it in industry, proper industry, right? Not a fly-by-night city boy or any of that. Didn't get given a silver spoon. And he says, we can't carry on like this. There's no point. He's desperate. Desperate. I said, if you're that desperate, start funding me podcasts. But there we go. He hasn't accepted that yet, so we'll see. Get them all out now, says Paul Rivers. I presume you're talking about the Labour government. I was waiting for Angela to start crying at PMQs, says Regan and Carter. I must admit, that went through my mind. Could she actually start sniffing away? Because obviously the woman on the other side, she did. And we're still meant to believe it was a personal matter, don't ask. She's the Chancellor of the fucking Exchequer. I don't want her crying. Call me old-fashioned. Oh, you old-fashioned. I want her to be confident and suggest confidence to the rest of us, don't you? I thought the adults were back in charge. It's a bunch of sixth-formers. All sniffing amphetamine speed by the look of it. Have you noticed as well? One of my listeners pointed this out today. When Starmer's lying, which of course is most of the time, he speaks much quicker. Have you noticed? Now I've pointed it out. It's a bit like when you say, you know that little white square that comes up in the corner when the adverts are about to... Well, you don't know about that. Anyway, when the adverts are about to come on, once you see it, you can't unsee it. You watch with Starmer. You know when the BS is being spread. They're all part of the Fabian Society, including all the judges as well, John, as Mr. Bean, who's Starmer's mate. Look up the Fabian Society, wolves in sheep's clothing, says Julie Bennett. I know where you're coming from. Thank you very much indeed. Marie Cliff just says yes. That means she wants to get rid of him. Sorry. As a father of three and a business owner, I'm so worried about the autumn budget, John. I am affluent enough to move away from the immigrants, but not ready to take the business abroad to escape Labour. Thank you very much indeed. John, I have a question. How long does Congress last? What Congress? You mean where he's at today? This hearing? I don't know. I don't know how long that'll go on. 3 or 4 hours, I'd imagine, at least. And then he'll do his press conference, I guess. But I don't think we'll hear the fallout of this until the next couple of days. He has to be back by Friday, because on Friday it's the Reform first ever conference, isn't it? James R.C. McIrvin says, the flip-flop brigade, ha ha ha. Keep rolling those R's. I gotta love your accent. Are you American? Huh? Are you American? You can still donate from States. Get on with it. If you really like what I'm doing. Respect. John, I have a question. Oh, no, I've just answered that one. James R.C., listening to you from Philadelphia, I guess that is. PA, USA. We hear you, pal. Thank you, my friend. Together in unity. I know you've had similar problems. Thank God you've now got a president who's got some balls. That's what we need in this country. We did have a prime minister, had massive balls, wasn't scared of anyone. And she was a woman, Margaret Thatcher. We haven't had anybody like that for years. James says, America has your back. I don't want you to have my back. I want you to send me $5. Get on with it. And I'll pull your leg. Anyway, look, I'll probably come back again at 6 tonight. Won't be 6:30, it'll be 6-ish. And we'll have a chat about the ID card thing and whether something's broken with Nigel. If nothing develops, I won't do a show. Because when I started this up, what I didn't want to do was get into the tyranny of you have to do a show every day at exactly the same time, even if there's nothing to talk about it. Right? That when there's nothing to talk about. I don't want to do that. I don't need to do that. So I'm trying to only do it when I can. Can you keep spreading the word for me? Thank you. I believe you when you say they want violence in order to diminish our voice. But then when things like the decision against Epping shows that just protesting doesn't work, what is there left to do? Yeah, I know that, Greg. But violence is never the answer. It's never the answer. We will win. I sound like one of the women at Green and Common, don't I? We will overcome. I'll be singing Kumbaya next if I'm not careful. But I do believe we will. I do believe we will. I think we are winning. Starmer is against the wall. Stop it. All we need to do now is keep pushing. He cannot survive much longer. He's in a real bad position. He obviously would like to sack Reeves. He'd like to sack the Growler. He can't. Because if he does, yes, that's a sign of strength, but the press will just be on him and say, well, who you got now? Because let's face it, he hasn't really got strength in depth, has he? Huh? It's like being a 4th division side playing in the Premier. He ain't got a chance. Once the injuries start coming in the field, well, they don't get muddy anymore, do they? But you understand what I mean. Once winter comes in, you're exposed. And he's exposed now. He's got nobody. Nobody. So he's going to keep lashing out. He's going to keep on lying. I mean, I'm still laughing at when they said about wrapping themselves in the flag and Yvette Cooper saying, oh, yeah, I've even got Union Jack underpants. Well, she didn't say that. She said, I've got, what do you call them? Doilies. That's showing me age. And I've got them in the Union Jack. She kept saying Union Jack. It's the Union flag unless it's on a boat, you dopey mare. But they're just lying. They're just lying. And they're being exposed. Pity we haven't got a proper opposition because, like I say, Nigel is the opposition, but he hasn't got enough MPs at the moment, has he? He hasn't got strength in depth yet either. And the arrest yesterday of the greatest comic writer of our generation is just outrageous. It's just outrageous. And I can't understand why Starmer's now slagging off, but why the Met would think that's a good idea. What, you're going to send 5 armed police officers to arrest Graham as he gets off a plane, the man who wrote Father Ted, that every Catholic old lady I know, even though it's rude, they love it. You're going to arrest that man? That's a good idea. That's good PR, isn't it? All right, I'm finished. Thank you very much. 32, it was only meant to be 15 minutes long. I'm useless, aren't I? But thank you very much for joining in. Tell all your friends about it. Tell them if they missed it, they can always listen to it again or watch it again. Just head over to Jon Gaunt TV. Tell them to subscribe to Jon Gaunt TV. It's free on YouTube. Let's see what develops in the next couple of hours. I might come back at 6, do another show. If not, I'll definitely be back tomorrow at some point because there's so much to discuss with what Farage is doing over there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for donating. Still need a few more. Thanks for doing all of that. Without you, I wouldn't be able to do it. And the final thing, if you got kids, give them a kiss, give them a hug. Don't forget to tell them you love them. I'm going to take the dog out for a walk and try and de-stress for a minute. I had to take him to bloody vets this morning. No one told me that his inoculation was due. As good as gold, though. As good as gold. Although he's got to that age where he's a bit jumpy. Well, I'm going to have to discuss 2 bricks and a feather. I'll tell you more later. Look after yourself. See you later. If you've got kids, give them a kiss, give them a hug. And don't forget to tell them you love them. I'm off for my dog walk. See ya.